How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to give you a really quick tutorial on a really quick and easy wall material. This is basically for painted walls for general houses. If you ever look at a general wall, the paint has a type of texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'll go in here. I'm in Eevee, and this is Blender 2.8. But if you look at my wall here, some of it is shiny, some of it's smooth. It definitely has texture to it. Now, if you look around it's not perfect, and that's what I like about it. It actually has some of that, I guess, bump effect to it. If you can see, let's get close up in the wall there. The reason I like this material is because it doesn't really matter what color you choose. I have a blue in this room. And if you look, see if I can get perspective. Actually, we should be good. Yeah, if you can kind of see that texture right there, it's a really good wall texture, and it's extremely simple to make. All you have to do is let's even since we're in Eevee, we can look at any one of the room texture to blue or that, and they're both the same. So basically, I'm going to break this down real quick and simple for you. Normally you have your Prince Little BDSF shader that comes in here that's connected to the surface. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick your color. Now for this, I wanted a darker blue, so I picked, I moved to darker, and then I got a blue, so I picked my base color there. And then I came down to, and I left my specular and everything else the same. And then I came down to my roughness. Now what I did is I attached a noise texture from the factor into the roughness, okay? And then I set the scale to 1200, okay? Now since I'm on this, you can actually see this. If I scale it back down, let's say, the bigger you get, the bigger it looks. That's the reason I went up to 1200, okay? So just type in 1200. You can even go higher if you want a more detailed 1500. And it'll give you a more rough look. Also with your detail, the detail basically, obviously, the more it's faded together, the better, because you don't want, obviously, something that has like 6 different textures to it. Like I said, if you can tell right here, even it looks like a little much. I usually keep the detail around 10 to 15. And then from there, all I did from here was, let's see, delete these 2 right here. Okay, and then once I did that, if you notice the wall is nice and shiny, I have this all UV unwrapped, okay, which means it needs something for the textures to tell it to go to. So all I did is, I think it's, what is it? Click on your noise texture, and I think it's Control T. Yeah, you hit Control and then hit T, and it'll bring up your mapping. Now, it's automatically hooked into generated. All you're gonna want to do is switch it over to UV once it's unwrapped. Once you have your item unwrapped, and you will get this effect right here. Without this mapping node, you won't get it if it's unwrapped. If it's just generated, which is what it normally comes with, you're going to get this nice, smooth, flat surface. You're like, what? No, what am I doing? What you're going to need to do is hit Control T off this noise texture to create that texture coordinate. Once that's in, you're going to switch it over to UV. Okay, oh, you can't even see. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Totally forgot about the video. All right, anyway, but yeah, and then from your object here, I think it automatically puts it in, but you can put it in the main floor or just leave it. I usually don't have any issues not putting that in. I don't know why that is honestly there. I guess that's supposed to be what object it goes off of, but it always seems to work just plugging it in from the UV to the vector. So basically this is all it literally is you have your normal BDSF shader here, and all you're going to do is change your base color, go down to your roughness, and attach a noise texture from the factor to the roughness. After that, you're going to click on your noise texture and hit Control-T, and I just duplicated it. Okay, you're going to hit Control-T, and that's going to bring up your mapping and your texture coordinate. Okay, now from your texture coordinate and your mapping, all you're going to do is switch it from generated to UV. And that is literally it. You have a really great wall texture and really, really simple, and it renders in cycles and Eevee both really well. Super simple texture for you guys to take a look at. You can also look at a couple different videos to do a couple different things for texturing and stuff like that, but this is just one quick texture that I wanted to show you so you can see how this is done. But basically that's literally all it is. You got your output for the principled BDSF, or BSDF, sorry, and then into your noise texture from the factor, and then add in a texture and a mapping coordinate. That's literally the simplest texture you can get, and it looks really cool. You can also play around with this, and then also if you mess around with some other stuff in between the noise texture and there, you can actually add different variants to it. Let's see, what was it? Plug in magic texture. Okay, and then from there you can kind of see that from different angles and from different areas you're going to get different sections. Plus you don't want the color from that, you want the factor, sorry. And then once that's plugged in, you can actually kind of see it gives it way more of a pop. You can also add more depth to it, say 10, and what it'll do is it'll change it as it goes. I think the lower this number is, say, let's just go back down to 0.1. Let's see 0.1 and see where it's at. Okay, at 0.1 it's super, and at depth of 5 has a nice pop to it. You know what I mean? You can add different texture nodes and different shader nodes into here. One of the major things you're always going to remember is that one of the things you're always going to want to remember is that whatever you're plugging in, try to keep them the same vector to vector. And then the reason we're plugging this factor into this vector is this is telling this what to do. We're not going to be going off of the scalar distortion. This is basically telling this, the magic texture is, or the noise texture is basically telling the magic texture where it is from the map or the coordinate, the mapping coordinate textures, and then it basically goes into your magic texture here. But like I said, if you just want the basic material, like I said, this is your best bet. You can plug it into your roughness. Another thing that I like to vary, I really love noise textures. They bring in a kind of like a staticky type look. But if you take in and put in another noise into this, hold on, and then we're going to want to scale that all the way down to pretty much almost 0. Hold on, 0.1. Was it that one? Maybe it was the color, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll just get rid of that one. Oh wait, nope, never mind. I apologize about that. I meant to put this. This was actually my fault. I actually wanted to take this and put this into the normal. Now, what's that is going to do is that's actually going to create shading for it. Hold on, I need to get a mapping node in here for that to come in correctly. Hold on one sec. So, vector normal map. So you can plug that in there. Okay. Now I don't know why. Potentially use the UV map for that. Okay, and what that should do, and I don't know why it's not doing it right now. Here, let's get rid of that and let's bring in the noise texture from there. Okay, that made it big. Maybe that was in the strength, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now what that did is it actually created a lighting effect that actually created a surface to it. So what that does is it uses the same noise texture that you originally used before, and you just add in a normal map and plug the factor into the strength. And sorry that took me so long to get to, I totally forgot about it. But basically what that'll do is with the lighting itself, it actually makes the lighting effect differently off of the wall to an actual texture instead of just kind of faking it with the normal generated map that we did a minute ago. This actually makes it a little bit more real when you're doing your renders. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this real quick. Just like, share, let me know what you think. If there's anything that, any added on stuff that you think would be beneficial to this, let me know in the comments and stuff. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you later.